What's up, guys? So, I'm reading this article, and it's called Urban Innovation Expert Urges Joe Biden to Limit Tesla's Full Self Driving Testing. That's what we're going to be talking about on the news trip. The thing that really gets me right off the bat about it is the fact that basically what this guy is saying is because it's new technology, we should immediately assume it's going to kill people, and that people using the technology are not understanding the risks that they might be putting themselves into, with the full self-driving beta. And they're not capable of doing anything about or interfering or taking over if something does go wrong. So apparently, people just aren't good enough drivers to actually drive, apparently. I kind of have a problem with this article because the assumption of this article is that everything that is in the Tesla full self-driving beta is just garbage and it's never going to work. And they cite like, well, the company already says that it's level 2 autonomy. So obviously you can just assume that it doesn't work right, which I don't think is true at all. From what I understand, they classify it as level 2 because there is still driving or active driver support. They have to be aware and everything else because it is a beta. Just in the same way that when you get a beta operating system on your computer or your cell phone, it says right in there that this is unfinished software and there could be bugs in it. That doesn't mean that it will be bugs and that it inherently has problems. That just means it could have problems. It's still a work in progress. That's what betas are. So, reading this, one of the things they go on to say is PAVE, Partners for Automated Vehicle Education, a nonprofit organization dedicated to autonomous vehicles, said that public road testing is a serious responsibility and using untrained consumers to validate beta-level software on public roads is dangerous. Is it, though? I mean, we've never seen this before, so how do we know it is dangerous? Once again, you're just assuming all of a sudden that, hey, this whole software is going to kill people, and if you're driving with it, you're not capable of taking over if something goes wrong. We don't know that for a fact at all. They're really going out a limb to actually say, like, hey, this is, it's never going to work, and people that are behind the wheel, when it doesn't work, are not capable of reacting. Now, there might be some truth to that, but I want to see the actual data on this. I mean, let's just think about this logically. This is the same argument that pilots made when they introduced autopilot in the first place. And guess what happened when autopilot came along? The aviation crash rate and the human error rate in aviation accidents went down tremendously. These are the same arguments of like, oh, this is, if something new comes along, everyone's going to die because of it. And I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think what we're going to find is you're going to find even in the beta version, I think you're going to find that the car drives better than most people. If not, it probably drives on par with most people. I don't know if you ever watch these things on YouTube of these crash accidents, or these crash videos, but people are terrible drivers, especially in the United States. So, I think that's something to be aware of, is the fact that, these things might not be that bad. They might be even better than humans. And personally, I think they will be better than humans. For one, they can take in a lot more data than humans can. If you're looking at 15 different data points from radar and sensors all over the car versus just your eyeballs, the car's taking in way more data than you can. If they're building in predictive algorithms and things like that, like we've seen in the full self-driving, the car can predict things when it's got motion. It looks at, like, let's say a deer running across the street. Well, the car predicts that, hey, the deer is moving this way it's going to keep moving that way. So let me swerve away from the deer. You know, humans, most of the time, they swerve into the deer. They see it over on one side, your brain reacts to it, and the first thing you do is go, it's over there, let me swerve this way. But your brain doesn't process that it's over there when you saw it, but it's actually moving this way. That's why most people hit deer or hit objects and things like that. And you don't have to take my word for it. Go on YouTube and watch some of these crash videos. You see it all the time. You know, somebody pulls out in front of them, and instead of swerving this way to go around them, they swerve into them and hit them. You know, because that's how our brains are wired. We see something, we react to it, but we don't have all the information to actually process what's going on in that split second. And it seems like these cars and these machine learning algorithms and, you know, AI that they're going to be rolling out into them, they can do that. I just thought this was kind of arrogant for these guys to just basically assume that all this stuff's going to be broke and it's not going to work right, and then saying, well, you know, they need to change the laws and outlaw it. The biggest problem that I have with that is the fact that the minute you start outlawing something that you don't know how it's actually going to work, you're just setting up more and more hurdles for progress. So if you come out and say, all self-driving cars are going to kill people, we should outlaw them before they come out, well, you don't know that for a fact anyway. It's one thing if you've had self-driving cars, and let's say this beta's been out for 6 or 8 months, and it's killed, you know, 50 or 60 people already, and it's gotten in thousands of accidents. Okay, then you'd have a little more data to go off of to actually make your claim. But from what I've read in this and from what I've looked up, the full self-driving beta that Tesla came out with seems to be going pretty well. Is it perfect? No. I don't think anyone was expecting it to be perfect. Obviously, Tesla wasn't expecting it to be perfect, or they would have never put it out as a beta. They would have just put it out. But like I said, that to me, it's just very weird that people will literally immediately assume that, hey, this is all broke, it's never going to work, and we should outlaw it before it ever comes out. I don't understand how that mindset works. You know, like I said, if you had data to go off of and said, like, look, you guys have tried it, all these other auto manufacturers have tried it, it hasn't worked, it's killing people, we should just knock this off. Okay, I totally get that. But like I said, from what I've seen, doesn't look that way at all. Actually, it looks pretty promising, and I think Tesla will get to at least level 4 autonomy, maybe not level 5 right away, but I think in the next year or two, level 4 autonomy is definitely achievable with these Tesla cars. You know, and it seems like in this article, and like I said, I'm going to post this so everybody can read it themselves and, you know, think what they want. But in this article, it seems really weird to me that they're basically just saying, like, everything that's in place they're just shrugging all this stuff off, like the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Like, they just say, well, you know, they should have done something about this a long time ago, and they're not doing their jobs. And it's like, well, they're not doing their jobs because they can't outlaw something that they don't have any evidence of. You can't just come out and be like, oh, full self-driving? That's going to kill a bunch of people. Nope, you can't have that. And it's like, well, it hasn't even came out yet. Doesn't matter. We're just going to outlaw it anyway. So I just don't like these kind of articles that are these just, you know, kind of outrage or boogeyman articles in the sense of like, hey, everyone's going to die if you do this. It doesn't make any sense, and like I said, it just hurts progress. When there's more data on this, if it's bad data, then I think we should have a conversation and we should sit down as a country and actually discuss it. Not just go, you know, irrationally off on tangents like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to keep putting out a lot more news videos, especially when it comes to EVs and Tesla and battery technology and everything else, because I'm very, very interested in this stuff. I hope you guys will subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so you always get alerted when I upload something new. Until the next video, stay charged.